Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. Can you believe it's December already? Oh my goodness. I have just been surprised this year, and you've heard me mention that many times in the shows, how quickly the year seems to be going. And I have found this month it's accelerating even more. And I'm even finding as I'm navigating day to day, there seems to be this big swing of where people are landing and navigating, and the pressures and just all the things that people are going through right now and trying to wrap up and get done before the end of the year. And I just want to encourage anyone who's feeling any of that, either personally or around you, that this is your time. This is a moment for you to pause. You can even put yourself in a little bit of a cocoon right now. This is your space, your time. And just take a breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes, and then breathe out. And I'm going to encourage you, as we go through our time together today, to purposely pause, breathe, make sure you're being present. Sometimes it's even helpful to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, make sure, yes, I'm really here. I'm in my body. I'm present. I'm in now. Because it's so easy to get distracted, have our mind pulled a direction and suddenly be thinking about all these other things. And then you can miss what's happening in the now. And this now is for you. It's to pour into you. It's to encourage you. It's to uplift you and support you now during this busy season that seems to swing between emotions and time and energy and priorities. And as you step into the new year, that you can really choose to pause. You can choose to breathe. You can choose to prioritize you on the journey. We're going to be talking with an amazing expert. I know you're going to love her. And she's going to be sharing some about the transformational journey from cocoon to soar. There's different steps in that process, and we can be in different places in that. And I thought it would be so helpful as we're ending the calendar year, looking at the new year, to be mindful of that. And where are we? Are we cocooning? Are we needing that pause? Are we remembering to support ourselves in everything that is moving, and it can almost feel like swirling around us? Are we remembering to be present, to choose to be here, to choose to be now? I'm even finding I'm choosing to take things off my list. I'm reprioritizing some things. I'm moving things out to create more space and time. So some of the things that you can do, you can say yes to, you can say no to. I want to make sure you're remembering to keep you on the plate, not when I get time, I'll rest. When I get time, I'll eat, or I'll take care of whatever. You want to make sure that you're remembering to include you as a priority throughout this season and into the new year. And that's something I really admire about our guest. I feel like she's really good at that pausing, that checking in and remembering that as we navigate forward and through. Oh, I welcome everybody. This is your time. It's an opportunity for us to be present, to connect in, and to deeply breathe, to pour into you. So be open, be willing to receive, trust that you're here for a reason and a purpose. There is something for you in our time together. And I know that because you've tuned in. It's not by accident, it's on purpose. So let's honor that and be open to receive everything that is here for you, everything that will serve and support you. Beautiful. So with that, we're going to take another deep breath in through the nose Wiggle your fingers and your toes. So we want oxygen and air going everywhere. I even stretch. You can probably hear that stretch up and out to create room as I breathe in and receive all of that support and oxygen. And then I breathe out through my mouth, like through a straw, pushing that air out, releasing all that no longer serves. Perhaps isn't mine to carry forward after all. Creating room and space for more of you and more of what you truly, purposely are wanting to bring forward and even wanting to be. Let's close our eyes. You're absolutely safe. Keep breathing. And as you take a breath, put both hands on your heart. Breathing in, noticing the beat of your heart. And then notice that pause in between the beats. And what is that pause, that quiet space sharing with you today? What is it that you need and are willing to receive? What is it reminding you of? What is it bringing forward to you? Receive that information. Beautiful. Let's take another deep breath. Come back into the room, eyes open, fully present. Wiggle your shoulders. Make sure you're back and here and present. Beautiful. And take a moment to write down what your heart shared with you, what was placed on your heart. So often we're moving so quickly, especially during this season. So many things vying for our attention that we can miss that quiet voice. We can be so distracted and busy. We're not hearing what is speaking to us, what is bubbling up. So I encourage you to write that down. Let's keep it top of mind throughout our time together today, and then keep that paper and that pencil or that pen ready and handy so you can take notes on things that touch you, inspire you, an idea that bubbles up. Let's capture that, bring it into reality, and start processing it. So it's not another thing on the to-do list. We don't need more things on our to-do list if you're anything like me. But it's great to have an opportunity when we come together to actually process and integrate and bring forward those things that serve. So let's use this time in that way. We're going to have lots of moments where you can pause, breathe, integrate in, take those notes, and then powerfully be able to step forward in the day. So as we just drink this time in, see what is being placed on your heart. Look at your notes one more time. And I'm going to bring our amazing guest on and just see what was laid on her heart when she took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. Dr. Sharon, I'd love to know what was on your heart, or is on your heart, I should say.
Well, throughout the Bible, it talks about Selah, right? That pause that we need to take, but most of us don't. Most of us don't, because if we pause, it makes us think thoughts. Sometimes we don't even want to think about certain things that are going on in our life. But as I was doing that exercise, it made me realize that I needed to pause as well in this season. We call Christmas and all the things that have taken over, the shopping, the this, the that, and just slow down. It felt like I just needed to slow down. And that's what my reflection on it.
I love that. And isn't it interesting how quickly we can slow down? I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
We think it's going to take all this time, but we can just take 1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and it shifts things in powerful ways. And thank you for your sharing. You're right. Sometimes we're like trying to stay ahead of the thinking, ahead of the thoughts, the feelings. So that slowing down allows us to actually process some of that and be with our thoughts and be with our feelings because they're there and they're eventually going to come forward. So the more we can kind of be with them, I think the better during this season. And it feels good to pause.
Yes, it does.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate your share, and listeners, we'd love to know what was laid on your heart. And maybe it's that, wow, didn't realize I needed to slow down for a moment. So as we go to our first commercial break, here's an opportunity for you to be present and listen, to take in those deep breaths and just be still. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that pause, that opportunity, real time, to just slow down, and it's enough to be. I find even when I slow down, I'll start to notice things around me that I miss, and they might be there every single day. It might be something on my desk. It might be something in the office area that I've stopped seeing because it's just part of the things around me. And when I slow down and I notice it, I feel like it supports me. It kind of feeds in. It'll bring a smile to my face. And the more I can notice those things around me, the more I'm also able to notice what's going on within me. So I encourage you, as we go through our time together, we have these commercial breaks. These are actually pause breaks, times for you to get to stop and listen and be present for you. So I encourage you, as those times come, to really be present and listen and see what's going on around and within you and where things are connecting and resonating for you. That's a big part of being able to integrate and be really present. Oh, welcome back. I'm excited to introduce our guest. You got to hear from her a little bit on a heart level when we opened. And I wanted to take a moment and introduce you to her background. So you just have a little bit of a perspective of who she is, and just know this is a very small snapshot. You can absolutely go in, connect with her further. We're going to encourage that and learn all that Dr. Sharon is. But I want to give you a snapshot. So Dr. Sharon is an inspirational speaker, pastor, instructor, a counselor, coach, and a #1 international bestselling author. She has over 18 years experience as an adjunct professor. She serves as president and CEO of Inspired Boldness Enterprise, LLC, and she's a Maxwell Leadership Coach. She's passionate about empowering leaders and women to really be able to go on that healing journey so they can soar, go from cocoon to soar. Please warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and empowering Dr. Sharon Arrindell. Welcome.
How are you? How are you today?
I am great. I'm just thrilled to have you join us. I feel like it's been a long
A
time.
long
So it's,
time.
yeah. So it's wonderful to have you back on. And what a great way to round up the year and
Yeah.
celebrate with you, because I know you have
Yes.
some great things to celebrate right now as well.
Yes.
So welcome. And I wanted to start our conversation, especially for those who are just meeting you, is why is this work of helping women and leaders go through this process and be empowered to step into that place of sharing and shining, and being on purpose? Why is that work personally so important to you?
Um, because I spent a lot of time being broken myself, and for different reasons, lifing, and you realizing that you can't do anything broken. So you called it inspired wellness. It's actually wholeness, but because wholeness is my mantra, because I realize if you're broken, you can't do exactly what God has called you to do in a state of brokenness. You need to be whole. You need to be well. You need to be hydrated, like I've been doing over here. You need to be resting. You need to pause. You need to do all of those things. And so, as a result of that, years ago, Inspired Wholeness came into fruition, just as nothing. It just came into my headspace, and now it's just blossomed and become something I never thought before. But that's my reasoning. I just feel like wholeness is the key to living well and living on purpose and intentionally.
Thank you for sharing that. And I'm curious, as I was listening to you share about this brokenness, and how, what are indicators that, oh, maybe I am in brokenness, or I have a piece that's broken, or I have an opportunity to be even more whole than I am now? What are some indicators that we may want to be paying attention to that can bring our attention to, it's time for me to focus on this area, or I can be in a more whole place?
I believe, well, I'm a person about the mind, right? As a therapist, I get to go all into people's mind space. Some people think I could read their minds. I cannot, but I can see, though. I can
Mhm.
see when something is not right, even if it's a small thing, just by their demeanor, um, how they're carrying themselves sometimes, the things that is coming out of their mouth or not, um, just the thought process, right? And I go all the way in with that whole thought thing, because I think mental software renewal is something that I talk about often in my mental health programs, because just like the laptop needs to be rebooted, recharged, all the things, so does our minds. And a lot of times we forget about our minds. We just keep going like ever ready bunnies, and we don't stop and think. And, I found a scripture in the Bible. It's just Philippians 4:8, whatsoever things are lovely and pure and of good report, praiseworthy, all these things. And it ends with, um, think on these things. I call them downloadables for the
Mm.
mind. And when you start actually thinking about those things, it gives you a sense of peace. And people already know when they're a little off kilter. They
Mhm.
could feel it. It manifests in your body. It manifests in your body, pain everywhere, all kinds of different things. And the problem with our society is that people will run to a doctor to take care of their physical parts, not realizing that if they ran to a therapist first, it might help them not have to go to the doctor as often, because the mind is what's controlling the body and all the things that are going on with it.
Thank you for sharing. I think this is great because sometimes if our body's tired, we'll just have more coffee or caffeine, or we'll do this or we'll do that instead of, wait, maybe I need to listen to
Yeah.
what my body is saying.
Yeah.
And maybe it needs rest or to slow down, and that can be honored, or whatever it's saying. I think sometimes we try to shut it down with the messaging because we don't, the pain or the discomfort or the tiredness, instead of being curious and actually listening to what it's trying to say, because we're wholeness. We are whole beings in a body on purpose. The body is with us.
Yeah.
And
And we actually need to be honest with ourselves, you
yes.
know, about what's going on. That's the thing. We can hide it. Now, social media is so big that we could hide behind all that and pretend like nothing is happening when we actually know something is happening. And I have encountered people who actually died, you know, as a
Mm,
result of not paying attention. They end up in a psych ward in a hospital. Nobody knows what's going on with their mental state, but they die from this. And people say, oh, she died from a broken heart, or she died. Oh, no, she died because something was going on in her mind and she didn't pay attention. She
mm,
didn't pay attention. And I say she because the person that I'm talking about is a she.
mm,
And that actually happened in my space of trying to help that person.
mm. Well, I'm so sorry for the loss.
Yeah. It
Um,
was a while ago, and but I always remember it. I will always remember it.
yeah, yeah, and there's a reason that's coming forward, and
Yes.
so we honor that, and I thank you for reminding us how important it is to listen to what's going on within us and not just keep pushing and running around and just stop
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
really listen, and that being honest with ourselves sometimes is hard,
Yes.
but critical and important.
Yes.
Especially when we start to notice. I know for myself, where I notice I'm getting a little off kilter is when I'm getting extra tired.
Mhm.
I notice suddenly I'm more reactionary to things, which is not my normal state.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
getting frustrated or irritated at something that just normally is not something I would even pay attention to. Those are usually indicators that something's going on with me. And it's time for me to kind of slow down and listen. Oh, what's going on? That's not something that would normally throw you this way, or you would react that way. And I've learned to start to see those things, or I try to catch it when I'm feeling them before the reaction goes out.
Hmm.
Notice the feeling first.
Absolutely.
Sometimes
Yes.
the reaction happens and then I notice, but I find that really helps me recalibrate and recenter before things go further than we would
Escalate.
want. Yeah, escalate. That's the right term.
Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Well, and as we were talking about this, one of the things I noticed in the information you provided us, you talked about courage,
Mhm.
and that this work takes courage, and you do it a step at a time. This journey to wholeness, this journey
Mhm.
to healing. Do you mind sharing a little bit of what you mean by courage and one step at a time?
Um, it's almost like under fire, right? I'm trying to explain it in my head first before I
Sure.
before it comes out of my mouth. But we're courage under fire because a lot is going on. And the problem is everybody thinks that their situation is bigger than somebody else's, but it isn't. We get what we can bear. And so the courage comes in when we try to rise from it. Rising, there's beauty for ashes, but whenever you hear about ashes, there has been a fire. And the fire sometimes, you're trying to come out of the ashes, but it keeps pulling you back. It keeps reeling you back in whatever the ashes was about. And all of a sudden you find yourself stuck. But something happens. Something happens. For me, it's writing, right? I love to write. And everybody asks me, how did you become an author? And my response is not what people expect, because I was floored literally by my circumstances. And I was floored, crying all the time in a fetal position, just out of it. Totally. I was a person that we just talked about where I was recognizing that something was wrong and I couldn't fix it. And I recall somebody saying to me, you're not going to die over this situation. It's not going to kill you. It just feels like it. And she was not a therapist. She's my spiritual mom, and she was just caring for me. And when she walked away, I was on the floor and I picked up a piece of paper and I started to write what was happening to me. And as I was writing, I could feel myself becoming not just whole, but courageous, just coming out of it. It was a slow process, of course, but that was the beginning of the process, was to just, and I'm not telling anybody to go write a book, because my intention was not to write a book. It was just to write what's happening to me. And I can honestly say, so many years later, because that was probably 2000 or 1999, so many years later, I still utilize that process to become whole and to become courageous, because courage comes out of the fire. That's where the courage is coming from. If you're not going through anything, I was listening to someone this morning during my devotion time, and he said, if the mountain is smooth, it's harder to climb. You can only climb it when there's jagged parts for you to put your foot on and get over the mountain. And so if we just keep acting like everything is smooth and okay, the courage is not going to come to climb that mountain and get to the other side. And when you get to the other side, you realize, oh, this wasn't even about me. This was about other people that I could help. That's who it was about. Courage under fire.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I think, sometimes we don't know how strong we are. We don't know what we can do, what is possible, until we are faced with a challenge, inside or out. And then we have that courage to face it, to take the steps to face our fears, to face and learn what is in us and what we can do and where we need help, because it's not a solo journey. I don't know where that myth got started, but it's not true.
I know. No man is an island.
Nope. Exactly. Well, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do so, listeners, I want you to think about courage. I want you to think about and just check in and notice, is there something going on in your body? Is there something that is wanting to come forward and share with you that maybe you've been too busy or distracted to hear? And as we enjoy, lean into these 2 minutes, just see what's bubbling up. You don't have to do anything with it yet. Right now, it's just kind of noticing, and just write that down and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click Register at the top right.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you discovered something when you took a moment to pause and listen and just see and feel in. It's so valuable to know what is going on and to have that awareness. And then once you have that awareness, you can realize, oh, perhaps I need more rest, or do I really need to do everything on the list, or I'm feeling pulled too many directions. Let me look into this, or, I could really use some support and help. It's so important to know those things. So it's not escalating kind of behind your back and you're shocked or surprised when something happens, but you can actually proactively manage and connect and know those things. And I promise you, your body is on your side and working to support, share, and help you on your journey. Now, one of the things I shared in our introduction of Dr. Sharon was that she's a #1 best-selling author. Now, you have brought forward a number of books. Do you mind sharing how many?
Okay. Well, it's 10 solo books. And I've written in 2 anthologies where I was not the visionary. And then this is my first anthology that I was actually the visionary for.
Yeah, the compiler, the leader of.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect. Thank you. I just wanted to kind of give a perspective there
yes.
to our listeners.
Writing a long time. And I still have books that are not published because I just don't, but I just keep writing all the time.
I love it. You've just brought so much forward to help so many people, and leading an anthology is a journey of its own. And just for those of you, that's a term that you're not as familiar with. An anthology is sometimes it's called a compilation book. It's where there are multiple authors, each writing a section or a chapter, all under one overall theme of what the book is about. And so this is a book that Dr. Sharon recently brought forward. It was received powerfully, became a #1 bestseller in 6 categories. And you just released it this month in December, or was recently?
The ebook was released in November. And then the hard book is now released, and we're about to celebrate that whole procedure.
Beautiful. I love that you're celebrating it. We forget to do that sometimes. We just move to the next thing. And I think it's important to celebrate those things because it's a huge undertaking. And so one of my questions I had was, one, what is this book about? I'd love to know the title, the vision, why you brought it forward. And then secondly, I'd love to know, well, what's it like? Because this is your first time leading something like that. What did you discover and learn and as well?
Well, it came forward as a result of COVID-19, the time when the world stood still, right? I was prompted to write based on the fact that my signature talk after that became From Cocoon to Soar, because I felt the stillness of that cocoon. I felt it based on the fact that I got COVID. I was sick, very sick for 3 months, and other people as well, all around, all the people that were calling and just frustrated with the whole time. But it took me to a place of a cocoon experience and what it feels like for the butterfly. And I started studying the butterfly. Listen to me. I literally started studying the butterfly and what it's like to crawl like a caterpillar and then get to that cocoon place where you cannot move. And if you move too soon, your wings will clip and you won't fly. And so I did all this research stuff about the butterfly. I literally have the whole metamorphosis enlisted in the book. And so after every talk about From Cocoon to Soar, everybody kept saying, is there a book? Is there a book? And I kept saying, no, there is no book, because I had no real intention of writing a book. I was researching and I was writing, but I wasn't turning it into a book. And then one day I said, okay, let's see if I could come up with some chapters for a book. And I did 20 chapters, 20 chapter titles I came up with. And I said, okay, it's going to be another solo book. And somebody, Dr. Tina D. Lewis, she's a part of Global Women Speakers. She said, well, Dr. Sharon, aren't you tired of writing solo books? Why don't you do it as an anthology? And as you know, I've tried to write anthologies before, and they never came to anything because I got frustrated with the process. So I was also frustrated that day when she said that. I said, no, I don't want to do that. But then I thought about it, I prayed about it, and I decided to do it. I decided to try to get some woman to join forces with me and write with me. And what I learned about myself was I thought I was patient, but I got more patience. I thought I was wise, but I became more wise or wiser. I thought I was all these things that I thought I was. It made me become more of that. I literally started writing in my journal every morning that I want more godly wisdom every day. Just trying to get the woman in the first place to buy into this, because the chapter titles are pretty intense. And I wanted it to be authentic, raw, all of that. I didn't want it to be full of frills, because we can come with frills. We know how to write all the frilly parts that are going on in our lives. But when somebody says, oh, so how did you get there? What was the crawling like? What was the cocoon like? You get stuck because, now I got to really tell my story. And so I got a lot of rejection. A lot of women said, no, thank you. And I felt personally rejected, but I just kept going. I just kept going. I put it down for a while. This has been a year and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I put it down, I picked it up, I put it down. And then two women in particular, Tara LaFawn Gooch and Dr. Barbara Brion, they took it on and said yes. They were the first two people to say yes. And it was yes with a vengeance. And they encouraged me. They said, even if it's just us gonna write it, it's gonna get written. And so I picked it back up, and eventually I ended up with 17 co-authors to write with me in this 228-page book.
Thank you for sharing. There's so much that goes beyond this, the behind the scenes that people don't know with a project like that. And part of how you get more patience, you get more wisdom, it's because your limits are stretched. So anyone who wasn't reading between the lines there, that's
writing solo. I could write solo. I could write any time of the day, anytime I want, all day long. Doing this was totally different.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you're going to be celebrating with all of them too. I mean, such an accomplishment, so much growth for everyone involved.
Yes.
So what was it like when this went out into the world in November and became a #1 best-selling book? So you had this intention to create it and then to have it received like that. I would just love to hear your thoughts, or if there's a favorite moment you want to share.
The favorite moment, just like when I did it with my solo, was when I just sat here where I'm sitting in this office, and the tears were, because at first I said, okay, what if it doesn't happen? And I wasn't really thinking about myself. I was thinking about those 17 women, because their stories need to be heard globally. And I just kept thinking about it. And I was literally at a funeral. I was at a funeral, and I saw when the message came, okay, so you're #1 in 2 categories. And I picked up my phone and I said, what? It was just, I don't know how to explain it. I felt it in my gut. I felt it in my heart. I felt it in my spirit. I felt excited, especially for the women who were writing for the very first time. Never written before. They couldn't believe it. They didn't know what I was talking about. So it just, and some of these women I've never met. I've never met them. I get to meet some of them tomorrow, and it's just going to be live wired woman all over the place. I've turned this into a celebration party for them, and 12 of them will be able to be here, and I hope they enjoy the celebration, but realize it's only the beginning of what we have to do after this.
Yes. So I'd love for you to give us the full title of the book, where we can find it, and what the cover looks like so we can recognize it.
Oh man, the cover itself is a story, but it's called From Cocoon to Soar, compilation of unstoppable female leaders. And the cover is very unique, because I was looking I had the cover in my head space. I had all these things that I would like it to look like. And every time it came back, it was like, no. And even the woman that encouraged me to write, she said, no, I know that's not what you have in your head space. So she found someone else, a cover designer that she knew. And I sent him my description. And on the first round, he came back with that cover of the cover actually has a caterpillar on the ground, the cocoon, the butterfly, and then the eagle cocoon-to-soar. And it just, when I looked at it, I said, yes, there it is. And that was it. And just kind of ran with it. I think the cover made the woman more excited than anything else. It made me excited as well. The back cover is even, because he didn't do the back cover, my graphic designer, Tatiana Montoya, she's a mentee of mine. And she is amazing because I kept her up night after night after night, doing all kinds of graphics, because inside the book is a little different. The back portion looks like a magazine because I did it in color with all of these women and the butterfly and the eagle and all the things. And so I'm just so grateful to everybody that came on board. One of the writers in particular, Lady Carolyn Bird, she took it on at the end, because when you write in color and you try to merge everything together with the words and everything, it's not like writing a regular book. And she took it. She too stayed up night after night, and she had already written her chapter 15. And so it was just an amazing ride for all of us. And I just look forward to us just looking at each other tomorrow and taking a deep breath like you had us do today and saying,
and happening. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Now, it's available in the ebook format and softcover. Is that correct?
Yes.
On Amazon?
On Amazon, all over the place, because Lady Carolyn, she did a lot of magic. So it's all over the place, but Amazon for sure, because I saw it there yesterday. Okay. So yes.
Fresh off the press. I love it. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Well, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. So listeners, take these 2 minutes, really think about what is speaking to your heart and spirit as Dr. Sharon shares, and see if, that's a book I might want to check out. So just make a note of that, and we'll continue our conversation in 2 minutes.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. And I'm just reflecting back on the conversation that we've had. There's just been so much that Dr. Sharon has shared about her journey and the work that she does. And from brokenness to healing to soaring to sharing to the challenges of leading an anthology, the growth opportunities that can be in that, all the way to bringing it forward and really sharing it out into the world. And that moment where she got the message saying that she was number one in 2 categories, eventually it became 6, but that moment when it hit that and getting to see that now available in print, just exciting to be part of that journey with you. And as I'm reflecting back on our conversation, there might be someone in the middle of, wow, I just noticed I have some of these feelings going on, or I'm noticing these responses within me as I've slowed down and been listening more. And I just wanted to see if you had a tip or a piece of advice for someone who is just starting to realize, ooh, there are some things I need to understand more or listen to more that are coming up. Do you have some tips or a piece of advice?
Address it, I could literally stop there. Address it. Do not ignore it, which is what we grow accustomed to doing. Ignore. Even when we feel a twinge of pain, we don't address it immediately. We ignore it, and then it becomes bigger and bigger. Same thing when it's I don't want to refer to it as a mental thing, because then people start thinking, oh, I'm mentally whatever. But when it's in your mind as well, address it. Address the fact that, oh, I've been feeling low for about a month. How do I get out of this? Just address it and start, choose somebody to speak to. Sometimes it doesn't have to go all the way to a therapist. It could just be a person like the woman I talked about earlier in my life. She's still in my life, and I always say to her, you're always in my Kool-Aid. You know everything there is to know about me, and it doesn't matter what time of the day. I could just call her and say, you know what? I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the way that I want to feel. And she'll just talk me through, pray me through, whatever. I didn't go to a therapist. I didn't do anything. I just went to a person. Now, if it gets bigger than that, and you will know when it's bigger than that, you need to make an appointment with a therapist and just let them know. People tend to, I don't know why it's people don't like to go to these places, because I can honestly say when you come away from, let's just use me as an example. After I struggled through COVID, I was very sick. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I couldn't eat. COVID attacked my pancreas, and I was just a mess. I was in the hospital for a long time, and then I was sick for 3 months. And after all of that, my brain went foggy. I couldn't remember things, all of that. I don't even know what they gave me. I just know I made it out, and I felt God say, I'm a designated survivor. So this book is part of the designated survivor storm, right? But I say all that to say, when I came away from it, I called a colleague of mine, a therapist, and I said, I don't know if I'm losing my mind. I don't know what's happening, but can you help me? Can you help me? And I only sat with him for one session, because he realized you're not loony, not any of those things. It's just the aftermath of this, whatever you suffered, that's trying to take over your mind. So do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to address it. Address it so you can move from it and become whole and well, and be able to utilize your gifts the way they're supposed to be utilized, wherever they're supposed to be utilized.
Thank you. I appreciate your sharing and that importance of addressing it. There's a reason it's coming forward now. Honor that and address it in whatever way it needs to be addressed. But don't just ignore it or turn it off. Don't turn off the alarm. Pay attention and really honor what's coming forward. Dr. Sharon, I have really enjoyed having you on the show today. I appreciate all that you have shared from your heart, your wisdom, and your journey. And I'd love for you to share your contact information for those who would like to go deeper and be able to connect with you.
Well, you can reach me. I do have a website, drsharonarrindell.com, and I have a counseling website as well, inspiredwholenesscounseling.com. My email is inspiredwholeness58@gmail.com. On Facebook, I'm Sharon Arrindell, and on Instagram and LinkedIn, I am Dr. Sharon Arrindell. And that is the vast amount of ways that I can be reached. And I usually reach back almost immediately to people.
Thank you. I appreciate you leaning in, making yourself available, sharing, and congratulations about your book to you and all of your authors. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Hope
you.
you guys enjoy the celebrations. What a beautiful way to end the year to celebrate such an accomplishment together. And listeners, I want to thank you for leaning in and being part of our conversation today. I hope that you have really taken advantage of slowing down and listening, seeing what is bubbling up, what is speaking to your heart, what is speaking to your spirit, to really honor that. And as we bring our time to a close, take a few minutes for you and just breathe. Drink in everything that serves, breathe out what is no longer needed, and choose something you can do, a step you can take today to support you, because you are a gift, just as you are. There's no one else just like you, and you're absolutely needed in this world. And the biggest gift you can give the world, it's not stuff, it's you. And the more you can be who you are, and the more you're willing to share that and trust your gifts and your talents with the world, that's how we make the world a better place, is being willing to share our gifts out, to shine out. But that does mean we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves too, so we're able to bring that forward and share the gift of ourselves out into the world. So I hope that you enjoy this season, you find those beautiful moments for you, and that you choose to bloom where you're planted and shine. Share out the gift of you. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.